Hi everyone, my name is Marion and I'm here to update you on my May and June reading wrap-up. First of all, I finished one of the books I was reading before, and that is Stars Above by Marissa Meyer. This is the last book in the Lunar Chronicles series, but you don't really have to read this. This is just short stories on characters that appear in the books, and it's just a fun read, a little background on more of the characters, one separate story as well. And if you like the Lunar Chronicles, you can't miss out on this one. I really enjoyed the stories, except for one that wasn't really that eventful, but overall this was a really good book. I also finished Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. This is an apocalyptic story made funny, but I didn't really get a lot of the references, and they kept switching between characters and really fast as well, so it got a little chaotic and it just always pulled me out of the story of what was happening, and I just wasn't feeling the funny vibe of the apocalypse. Sorry. Third, I finished Red Rising because I was reading it for the Red Rising read-along hosted by Leanna's Library and the Novelush, and I must say that the beginning was really slow and nothing was happening, and that really lasted like 19 chapters, but just after that there was action, boom, baf, I don't know, everything was happening, and there was just, well, I just couldn't put it down anymore. But you just really have to struggle through those first 19 chapters. Yeah. So next in the Red Rising read-along was Golden Sun, and that just started out with a lot of action, and it just kept going and going, and it was really hard to put the book down, I must say, and the ending just wanted me to immediately pick up the third book in the series, and I actually did. So yeah. So I also finished listening to the audiobook of Interview with a Vampire. That actually took me like 2 months to listen to, because I'm not really listening that every day. I just listen a couple of days in the week. So that was a reread for me, and I enjoyed it the first time, and I really enjoyed it the second time as well, although in the audiobook they say his name really annoying, but I got over that eventually. And I was actually curious, well, not curious because I have read the entire series before, but I really want to continue on with The Vampire Lestat, but since the weather is really nice and warm and sunny, that just doesn't really feel like vampire stories to me, and I'm just postponing that till it's fall again. Next book I finished was not a reread, another audiobook for me. I finished 50 Shades of Grey, and I must say the first time around I gave it 5 stars, and I was really into the story at the first book at least. The other two were a lot less, and this time I just gave it 4 stars. I wasn't liking it that much. I started noticing the drama in the first book as well. That is what bugs me in the other 2 books, because there was just so much drama in between and negativity, and I just really started bugging me that she was so negative about everything. And well, yeah, maybe it was the format because I listened to the audiobook this time, I don't really know, but I changed my opinion and I just gave it 4 stars the second time around. So I also read Ink by Alice Broadway. This is just such a pretty cover. I just bought it because, yeah, well, Ink is about tattoos, and the cover is just so pretty. Even if I didn't like the book, I just would have bought it because it is so pretty. And the story is actually really interesting. This is about a girl. I just forgot her name. Okay, I'm just gonna check. This is about a girl named Leora in a world where everybody gets inked the story of their life. They even start at birth to ink you with your name, and then your age, you get dots on your wrist, I think. And so every other thing, like school, education, things, your job, everything gets tattooed on you, and you also get to choose personal tattoos when you're older. And it's actually really interesting because when you die, apparently your skin gets taken off and made into a book, so you can honor your ancestors. Okay, that is my dog. It just scared the hell out of me. My dog is running around in circles outside. Okay, so when you die, your book gets made in, your skin gets made into a book. Yes, that's what it was I was saying. And that dog just really threw me off. So Leora's dad recently passed away, and it got made into this book, and they get to visit it, and other stuff is happening as well in the meantime. But then Leora's dad, as you can say, is gone missing, and she wants to know what happened, and she doesn't get any answers, and she just keeps looking, and it is actually really interesting what happens, and the ending was actually just in your face. And if you have read the book, you know what I mean. And I really want to read the second book that is out, and that is Spark. It also has such a pretty cover, but I still haven't got the copy, and I'm just really interested in what will happen. And on to my TBR for July and August. I want to read, yes, I want to read a lot. Okay, so this is the naked cover of Harry Potter, A History of Magic, if you can see it. Yes, not upside down. Okay, so a Harry Potter, A History of Magic, and I was expecting something really different. I was more expecting something like Fantastic Beasts, something you could actually use as a study book at Hogwarts, and that was a little bit disappointing, although it is still interesting, I think, to know on which things that J.K. Rowling based her books, and because she uses real persons and real things that they used throughout the ages, and that's also really interesting. So, but it is a bit slower read because I wasn't really expecting something like this. Next I want to read a Dutch fantasy trilogy, and that is this series, or if you can see, it is this Drakenzieler by Kokkie van Dijk. This is about a girl named Fenna who just runs away from home, and she takes a test at Dragon's Keep, and she passes, and she gets to be educated for communicating with dragons and stuff. I'm just really curious about the series because it's about dragons, and I really like those, if you hadn't noticed. So, since I reread 50 Shades of Grey, I actually did that because I was preparing for Darker by E.L. James. This is actually 50 Shades Darker in Christian's point of view. I have also read Grey, and I found it really interesting, although you know the story from Anastasia's point of view. It was actually very interesting, and I really liked reading Grey as well, and I'm hoping that I will really enjoy Darker as well. If you know 50 Shades of Grey, who hasn't heard of it, this is about Anastasia Steele and Christian Grey getting into a really weird relationship because he is into S&M and really weird stuff, and she is unexperienced, and that just gives friction and a lot of drama between the two. And then there are other persons getting involved, well, not in the S&M, but in their lives. I'm just gonna move along. And next up I have a series, let's see, I'm gonna put the first one on top. I have Reckless by Cornelia Funk. This is a book I really don't know what it's about at the moment. I know that when I ordered it that I found it interesting and I just really loved those covers. I'm just gonna see what it's about. Jacob has uncovered the doorway to another world, hidden behind a mirror. It is a place of dark magic and enchanted objects, scheming dwarves and fearsome ogres, fairies born from water and men born from stone. Here he hunts for treasure and seeks adventure in the company of Fox, a beautiful shape-shifting girl who guides and guards him. But now Jacob's younger brother has followed him into the mirrored world, and all that was freedom has turned to fear, because a deadly curse has been spoken, and Jacob must risk his life to reverse it, before his brother is turned to stone forever. Well, if this isn't what anyone wants to read, I don't know, I'm just curious. So, here is to a good read. Well, this is the first cover, and the second cover is also really pretty, and you have the third book. So that was it for my May and June reading wrap-up and my summer TBR. And I hope to get to read all of those, because this is setting the bar a bit higher than the past months, and I hope to get to this summer. Bye! Okay, so I totally forgot that I also have on my TBR, because I don't have a physical copy, is the next one in the Red Rising read-along for the month of July. That was Morning Star, and I couldn't wait to read that, so I actually started reading that already. And in August I am reading Iron Gold, was the fourth book in the series, and I've heard that that one was good as well, so really curious about the rest of the series.